Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And today we're talking about a trend in house cleaning.
Yeah.
This may have been useful last month, just before Chinese New Year, because I understand it's traditional in Chinese culture to clean out your house before Chinese New Year begins. You know, sweep it up, mop it up, get rid of all your old junk and stuff like that. But I guess you can do this at any time of the year. And my wife needs to do this, in a lot of different ways. She's actually a hoarder. That might be a different problem. But, you might have just too much stuff in your house, and it might be difficult to get around. It might be embarrassing to invite guests over and stuff like that. So maybe you should find a cleanfluencer, somebody who can help you get rid of all the junk and all the clutter in your house.
But anyway, we're going to talk about this cleanfluencer craze, this trend that's really popular right now. Can see why it is. And I would say the queen of this whole trend or movement is someone who's quite adorable, and she's Japanese. So if you haven't heard of her, you probably haven't been watching TV or just, keeping up on popular culture because she's out there a lot now. She's even on the Americans' Netflix. Now you can even watch her there, although they have to translate everything she says.
Yeah, her English isn't that great.
Marie Kondo, who's absolutely adorable. We're going to start by reading through today's unit, and then we'll be back to talk about it. Feeling stressed out? Tired of living in a chaotic, disorganized home? Social media has an answer to these problems. These days, cleanfluencers are taking over Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, helping people get their lives in order, both in their homes and in their minds. What is a cleanfluencer? Think back to the KonMari method craze that swept the world in 2019. Marie Kondo, the queen of cleanfluencers, teaches people to free their lives of clutter by keeping only items that spark joy. Kondo has paved the way for cleanfluencers like Sophie Hinchcliffe, who goes by Mrs. Hinch, and Melissa Maker of Clean My Space. These social media stars have become famous for their cleaning videos and life advice, while getting rich from their product advertisements. What is it about cleanfluencers that makes them so popular? Research has shown that messy homes actually increase the production of stress hormones. As a result, it's easy for disorganized surroundings to make us feel like we've lost control of our lives. Cleanfluencers help us bring an end to the chaos by reducing the amount of mess around us. Their videos can be very soothing, and the advice they give is usually very practical. Many claim that these videos reinforce negative stereotypes of women. They point out that almost all of the cleanfluencers are female, and their audience is overwhelmingly female. The cleanfluencers themselves reject this, however, at the same time that they're running successful businesses from home. These women are helping themselves and others keep their houses a little tidier, take care of their mental health, and bit by bit, make their lives better with the swish of a mop.
Okay, everybody, let's talk about the contents of today's lesson. The title is The Cleanfluencer Craze. Now, this is a new word. It didn't exist until recently, and I think it's so new that Webster and Oxford have not had time to recognize this word and enter it in the latest edition of their dictionaries. So this is kind of a combination of two words. Clean influencer. Somebody who influences you is somebody who has advice for you, and they give you advice and things like that. So cleanfluencer, somebody who helps you clean up.
Yeah, an influencer, guys, is some of you out there know who are into social media. They're actually called social influencers or social media influencers. These are people who have become quote-unquote famous because they have a lot of followers. Some of them talk about, I don't know, I follow some that talk about lifting weights because I like to lift weights. Some are followed because they're into fashion. Some are followed because they're really good at something they do. I follow another couple that talk about the keto diet. But it's really an interesting way and a new way to make a living. If you're a social influencer, a social media influencer, you're paid by the people who visit your site because commercials run, especially on YouTube, Instagram. And also, you start advertising products, and those products will actually pay you as a spokesperson. So these are these influencers we're talking about.
Okay, but these are people who will help you clean up. They're influencers who will help you with cleaning. So here's the question we start with. Feeling stressed out? Tired of living in a chaotic, disorganized home?
Yes.
Well, social media has an answer to these problems. So you might be feeling stressed out. You have a lot of pressure and you don't know what to do. And if someplace is chaotic, that means it's disorganized. It's not in order and you don't know which way is up, which way is down. Everything is confused. Everything is 乱七八糟.
Yeah.
It's just a big mess.
Yeah, there's a lot of chaos. Actually, there's chaos in just general life, but if we really wanted a great example, it would be maybe after a bad earthquake or a natural disaster where just everything's a mess. But if you have kids at home, you know what chaos is about. That's just having kids. So social media has an answer to these problems if you feel like you're living in a chaotic, disorganized home. So these days, these cleanfluencers are taking over Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm more of a fan of Instagram and YouTube than I am of Facebook. I've kind of gotten off Facebook lately, but I'm sure a lot of our listeners are big fans of these different sites, social media platforms, we call them. If you take over a place, it just means you kind of start to control it. So if you are someone who maybe you have a group of friends, but you tend to take over the conversation a lot, it means you're the one who is talking most of the time, and the ones that are more shy or quiet, they're not saying quite as much. It's best not to take over the conversation. If you take over something, though, it just means you're starting to take control of things. And these cleanfluencers are becoming so popular that it feels like there are a lot of them now that they're taking over social media.
Yeah, they're kind of dominating these different platforms here, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever. And they're helping people get their lives in order both in their homes and in their minds. So you want to get things in order. You want to organize things. You want to get rid of all the mess. And you want to do that both in your home and in your mind to organize your thoughts as well. And I think they kind of depend on each other. If your house is nice and clean, it doesn't have to be like a laboratory or something like that.
No.
But, pretty much organized. You know where to find things. You won't trip over stuff and stuff like that. And if the house is organized like that, hey, you'll be able to plan things better and your life will be more beneficial. Now, here's the question we have. What is a cleanfluencer? I think we already pretty much defined that in the last paragraph. But in any case, let's be more specific here. Think back to the KonMari method craze that swept the world in 2019. That was last year. Of course, this cute, petite woman from Japan took the world by storm with all her books about cleaning up, getting rid of all that clutter in your life. She is an adorable woman. Who would not want to watch her videos or read her books, especially if your house is a big mess?
Yeah, I actually had found her book before she became famous. I thought it was a really interesting idea that you would organize your home based on only keeping items that sparked joy. And she would have you kind of lift up, for example, a shirt and just be close to the shirt. And if you had a feeling of love for it, then you kept it. And if it didn't speak to you, in a certain way, then you would you'd just toss it out. Books, the same thing. Even books you'd never read before, she said, maybe someday you'll want to read that book. You can buy another copy. But until then, throw it out. We're not really sure how to say the method craze's name, guys. It could be KonMari. It could be KonMari. You can pick however you want to pronounce it, but it's named after this cute Japanese woman, Marie Kondo. She's the queen of cleanfluencers, and she's been teaching people how to free their lives of clutter. Clutter doesn't mean your house is dirty or your apartment's dirty. It just means you've got a lot of things just laying around that are out that you haven't put away in a drawer or maybe hung up in your closet. But underneath the clutter, maybe your floors are clean, your bathroom's clean, your kitchen's clean. But if you have a lot of stuff out, it just feels cluttered. And that's what clutter means. And like I said, her advice was just to keep things that made you feel happy when you held them close to you. I thought that was a really cute idea.
It is a cute idea. And here we've got free being used as a verb to free your life of clutter. You can free yourself of greed, for example. If you really like money, you can turn over a new leaf and, join a church or something like that and help the poor or whatever. Free yourself of your greed or of other things. And you want to free your life of clutter. And as you said, you just want to keep the things that spark joy. Spark here can be a noun and a verb. Here it's a verb. It just means to start something on fire. Like the spark plug in your motorcycle. Every once in a while you need to change that. Pragu is what that is, your spark plug. And Kondo has paved the way for cleanfluencers like Sophie Hinchcliffe, who goes by Mrs. Hinch, and Melissa Maker of Clean My Space. These are some new people who have hopped on the cleanup bandwagon, so to speak. They've taken some advice from Marie Kondo, and they're going to do the same thing. So they're going to pave the way, or at least Marie Kondo has paved the way for them. If you pave the way for somebody, you kind of make things easier for somebody else. Because Marie already started doing this, people have accepted her ideas. So new people can now come in, and they don't have to start from zero because Marie already did the dirty work ahead of time. Well, now it's time to listen to our Chinese teacher, but stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Shelby. 我们一开始先看标题 The Cleanfluencer Craze。Cleanfluencer 是 clean 清洁与 influencer 影响者，就是所谓的网红，两个字结合在一起，翻译成清洁网红。Craze 时尚风行一时的东西。请看第一题，第一段一开始就先问厌倦住在 chaotic 混乱的 disorganized 没有条理的家吗？然后又说社群媒体有这些问题的答案。接着就是题目1。第二段则自问自答 What is a cleanfluencer？ 清洁网红是什么？我们可以推测第一题空格应该是提到 cleanfluencer 才会引出第二段 cleanfluencer 的解释和说明。选项1 These days cleanfluencers are taking over Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. 现在呢，清洁网红正在掌握 IG, FB 等 helping people get their lives in order, both in their homes and in their minds. 帮助人们使他们的家中或脑中的生活井然有序。Take over, 接管、接手的意思。而 get in order,Order 是秩序 ，get in order 表示什么事情井然有序的。这句话刚好呼应上句的问题，并且关联到 social media 社群媒体，所以这题答案选1。第二题，前文提到清洁网红女王教人清理杂物，只保留令人怦然心动的物件。空格后面呢，则有提到这些社群媒体的明星变得很有名，而且富有。第二题后面的句子 These social media stars 好 stars 明星它是复数表示不止一人前面的清洁网红女王只有一人后面变很多人选项 A 近藤已经为清洁网红铺路像是以 Mrs. Hinch 为网名的 Sophie Hinchcliffe 或者是 Clean My Space 的 Melissa Maker 有更多的网红出现呼应下一句的 stars 复数，所以这题答案我们就选 A。另外我们注意选项中 pave the way for somebody， pave 就是铺设， have paved 表示已经铺好路，后半段 goes by 以什么为名，被叫做什么的意思。例如说我的朋友 Samuel， 我们都叫他 Sam， 就可以说 My friend Samuel goes by Sam。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, let's continue with our lesson. We're talking about the cleanfluencer craze. This is going on. It's quite popular these days. Cleaning up your clutter, getting rid of stuff. And, of course, Marie Kondo was the kind of the leader of this movement, but we've got some other people who have joined along. Sophie Hinchcliffe, Mrs. Hinch, and Melissa Maker, who's got a website, I guess, called Clean My Space. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with the old platform MySpace. I don't think anybody does that anymore.
No.
I don't even know if they're open anymore.
I don't know if it's still around.
I got an account there, but I haven't looked at it in 10 years.
Yeah.
But these social media stars have become famous for their cleaning videos and life advice while getting rich from their product advertisements. So you can go to YouTube. You'll probably see some of their videos there. And also, you can probably go to an online bookstore and get their books or something. And, of course, they're getting rich from their advertisements because they actually produce things that help you clean up, like books or videos. And, of course, if you have videos on YouTube, then you get sponsors and you get money that way.
Oh, yeah. You can make quite a nice living that way, as a lot of our young listeners are aware of. I was just talking to a friend last night about starting a YouTube channel. So this might be something you want to look into if you have a special interest in an area that you think you could give some good advice on. Go for it, people. So these are social media stars, and they're now famous for their cleaning videos and life advice. And you can potentially make quite a nice living from product advertisements that you are putting on your channel or your website. So what is it about these cleanfluencers that makes them so popular? Well, we've had some research done on this, and it's shown that messy homes actually increase the production of stress hormones. Ooh, so there have been scientists out there who have done research on what a messy home makes people feel like. So they've found that it actually makes your stress levels go up. And here we're using the word production. To produce something means to create it. So the creation of stress hormones. Research is when you have people who are studying a particular topic. Sometimes they're scientists and they're actually, in a laboratory. Sometimes it's just a matter of, doing surveys and talking to people and, but most of them have a lot of education in their background, these researchers who are doing the research. I wanted to mention the noun research, the pronunciation is research on the first syllable. But a lot of times for the verb, you'll hear people say research. And that's correct, but I have to warn you, a lot of Americans, at least, were lazy. And we have the same pronunciation for the noun and the verb, which is just research. So they're both correct. Just make sure you know which one you need to use.
And this is a non-count noun research, so please do not add ES to this. That is wrong. I've heard that before.
Really?
Oh, yeah, it hurts my ears
Ow.
to hear that. But in any case, yes, research has demonstrated or shown that, hey, you're going to have these stress hormones produced if you have a messy home. And as a result, it's easy for disorganized surroundings to make us feel like we've lost control of our lives. Yes, because my home is quite a mess. I do feel stressed out because of that. I've lost control of my life. I don't know where to find things sometimes. So, yeah, it's definitely not worth cleaning everything. But my wife insists, oh, that stuff is so meaningful. My sister had that before, and I've got to keep that. Or my mother used that at one time. You never know when you're going to need that again. So we have to keep basically everything. And as a result, I almost trip over stuff every time I try to walk through the living room. Yeah. So it can be quite stressful. And And, of course, I've lost control of my life as a result. And cleanfluencers help us bring an end to the chaos by reducing the amount of mess around us. Chaos just means a messy situation, and their videos can be very soothing, and the advice they give is usually very practical. So if something is soothing, it's comforting. If you watch it or if you listen to it, you feel very relaxed. A lot of people listen to Mozart because the music is very soothing. It puts us in a good mood, especially if we listen to, say, eine kleine Nachtmusik or something like that. It's quite relaxing, quite soothing. Or string quartets or things like that. The music can be quite soothing. Or, certain kinds of food can be soothing. Or maybe
that's a problem.
Drinking wine can help you relax.
Oh, you just reminded me with the food, because we often talk about food that makes us feel better as comfort food.
Right.
So comforting, soothing, it's the same sort of idea. Makes you feel protected, safe, all those great feelings. So many claim that these videos, these cleaning videos, reinforce negative stereotypes of women. To reinforce something just means to strengthen it. If you have an opinion that you want somebody else to reinforce, it just means they back you up on it. They say, yeah, I agree with her. She's right, and I'll tell you why. So these reinforce or make you believe the negative stereotypes of women that are out there. A stereotype is just, some ideas that people have about certain groups of people. For example, that women are all bad drivers. That's a stereotype of women, which we all know that's not true. I have two good sisters who can really drive well, and then I have two bad sisters who drive horribly. So, a stereotype is just an idea you have of a group of people. Don't judge everybody by a big group, though. Get to know everybody. But yeah, to reinforce just means to back up something, to strengthen something. At least when we use it in a very literal way, to reinforce maybe a typhoon's coming. You want to reinforce the windows in front of your home or store. They'll often put that tape on the windows that will reinforce the glass. Or maybe put some wood in front of your windows. That'll really reinforce the strength.
Yeah, I remember back when the Brown Line opened up in Taipei, the MRT, people noticed cracks in the pylons.
Ooh.
And people were afraid of that.
What's a pylon?
It's like the support thing underneath the bridge that holds it up into the
scary,
air.
Huh?
And everybody was afraid. Nobody's going to take the MRT. But all they did was reinforce those pylons.
There you go.
And the problem has never surfaced again. So they were reinforced with other materials, and they're okay now. So this might reinforce negative stereotypes of women. These people point out or indicate that almost all the cleanfluencers are female, and their audience is overwhelmingly female. I guess if you had a male cleanfluencer, he'd probably be laughed at. I'm guessing that men cleaning up, they're the ones who always make the big mess in the first place. It's always us women that have to clean up after them.
I bet you there are some guys out there on YouTube.
Could be. But yeah, most of the ones who do this are female, and the audience is overwhelmingly female, mostly female, maybe 90%, 95%. Men aren't too concerned about that. They're too busy going to the office making money. The house, cleaning that house up is her job. As long as you give me my man cave downstairs, I'm happy.
No, I was going to say, the guys are too busy making the mess that the ladies have to clean up. Okay, just kidding. So,
that's a stereotype.
Not really. Okay, the cleanfluencers themselves, the ladies out there that are making a living off this, they reject this idea at the same time that they're running successful businesses from home. These women are helping themselves and others keep their houses a little tidier. Tidy just means not cluttered. So if someone says, oh, we need to tidy up, it doesn't mean, oh my goodness, the house is a disaster. It's a really dirty mess. It means that it's in pretty good shape. You just have to pick up little items that are around to tidy up. And if you are using a mop, sometimes that motion of the mop is kind of like a swish. a swish of a mop. We're using that as a sound effect, their swish of a mop. You can also, ladies, swish back your long hair. You know, if you just put your hair over your shoulder, sometimes it has a swishing sound.
It certainly does. And that brings us to the end of our explanation for today. Let's turn things over now to our very neat and tidy Chinese teacher.
第3题，空格前面说杂乱的家会产生压力荷尔蒙 production 生产 stress 压力 hormones 荷尔蒙，空格后面又说清洁网红降低周遭脏乱，帮助结束混乱 bring an end to something 就是结束什么事情 chaos 混乱。从这2句呢，我们可以推论第3题这句应该是说明混乱、压力荷尔蒙等之间的关系。选项 B As a result, it's easy for disorganized surroundings to make us feel like we've lost control of our lives. 所以呢，杂乱无章的环境很容易让我们觉得好像我们已经失去对自己生活的控制。As a result 是结果 ，disorganized 杂乱的 surroundings 环境这个字通常要写成复数形态。选项 B 的文意刚好配合上下文，又合乎逻辑，所以第3题答案是 B。第4题是第4段的主题句，后面全段内容都提到女性的角色。在第4题空格后面 ，They point out 他们指出来 ，They 又是指谁呢？可以推测，空格这句应该是说明有些人的看法，才会用 they 来继续做说明。选项 F Many claim that these videos reinforce negative stereotypes of women. Claim 宣称，后面加 that 名词子句 reinforce 加强、强化 negative 是负面的 stereotype 刻板印象。许多人宣称这些影片加强了女性的负面刻板印象。句子中的 many women 刚好呼应空格下一句的 they female 文意相通，所以我们这题答案选 F。 第5题前面的句子提到网红和观众多是女性，空格后面则是结论句，提到他们事业的成功以及帮助别人和自己。在这个结论句中，主词 these women 是指清洁网红，他们对前2句提到的网红和观众多是女性有不同的看法，显然不同意女性刻板印象的说法，因此我们可以推论第5题这句应该是反驳或者是反对。选项 C The cleanfluencers themselves reject this. However, reject 拒绝，This 就是指加强了女性的负面刻板印象。这些清洁网红拒绝接受这个说法，因此这一句呢能够连接上下，并且说明他们带来的正面效应，所以答案选 C。 以上是今天的讲解，谢谢收听。
That's all for today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, but please join us again next time for another edition of our program. Until then, from all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
See ya.